Okay, the thought is after this, you can say principle, pure and simple theosophy lecture, we have also two seemingly very simple questions, but which mean a lot, we think. And you will all get also a paper where the questions are written down, but here you can see them too. First, can we find examples of the three jewels in our lives, especially in family life, working life, society, where you can in fact only explain things by the idea of incarnation, for instance, reincarnation. And second question, which things become more important and which less important in the light of these three jewels? Well, try to have a new, fresh idea. Just Herman said, each day again, our view is refreshed. Think about it. One main thing we like to experiment with is that before we start talking to each other, everyone is just thinking for himself, realizing a few examples and putting it down, writing it down, and then afterwards we exchange thoughts. So that gives everyone the possibility to order its own thoughts. Now, further this, we have made a little division. Jos and Bouke are here on this table very well. Flip and Patrick, can you have this table? Yes. And then we have Maria and Ben. You can, for instance, this table, which is still very empty. Yeah, okay. And then there is, in fact, Bianca. Oh, three groups are okay. No problem. Okay, much success. And after the last 10 minutes are plenary.
Okay, friends, what is going to be the karmic consequence if we continue this conversation?
You're going to skip lunch, so... That's the second question, right? So, which group has a really nice example of the first question? That we encounter one of these three jewels, or maybe all of them in our lives. Which group has a really nice example?
Okay.
Ken has a nice example.
He is an example.
He is an example.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, about 6 weeks ago, where I have my office, the new owners had come, and I'm the only one. It's a music building. I'm not teaching music, so the voice of the silence didn't count as music instruction. So, or silent music. So they said I had to move by August 1st. I thought, this is really bad timing, obviously, here. How am I going to do this? So I started looking around. But in the back of my mind the whole time, no, just wait, something else is coming. I look at another place, not quite right. No, just wait, something else is coming. I'm getting a little frustrated, wondering, okay, I don't want to move the day before this event, but I want to move ahead of time. The day before, no, wait, something still says to wait, but I still look a little and ask, something almost happens, but something tells me, no, don't do that, just wait. The woman coming to take over the office, I have not met. She teaches guitar. She teaches teachers how to teach guitar in the classroom throughout San Diego and California and even other areas in the United States. Then finally, only about a week and a half ago, she's back in San Diego and she comes in and I'm leaving, she's coming. We just say hi for 30 seconds downstairs and she's going up to see the space for the first time and I'm going out to an appointment. And as I leave, after meeting her for 30 seconds, I think, this is an unusual person. I feel like we might even have some collaboration, starts going through my mind. Then 5 hours later, she sends me an email asking me if I will share the office with her. And in the broad sense, as I get to know her a little bit, she's a very universally oriented person. She saw the books, the library, some of the artwork, and she thought, oh no, this needs to stay here somehow.
Okay. Patrick.
Patrick? Is that what you were saying? But Patrick, the mic is not that long, so you have to come here.
So I hope the cable is long enough. Well, I had an example. I'm a musician in my weekend. So a couple of years ago, I played with different musicians. And we had our own level of education. So at a certain moment, I have to leave my fellow musician behind to go my own path and to develop myself. But now we're 20 years later, and I meet the same musicians because of I left them. They were a little bit frustrated about the fact that I was a little bit ahead, so they practiced a lot, and now after 20 years we met again. So by leaving there, it had the karmic consequence that I just practiced more and more and more, and now 20 years later we're at the same level and we meet again and we go further on the same level. So it's...
Thank you. So if we can recognize these three jewels in our lives, then what becomes more and what becomes less important? Who would like to say something about that? Yes. Actually, I'm going to walk to you now, maybe? Or...
The second question, then we... We figured out that question 2 was not important.
It was not important.
Yeah, that's the answer to question 2. Then the question is not important.
The question is not important. Okay. She said that the question was not important.
That's karmic, eh? That's karmic.
There will be consequences, yes. So how about this table? What becomes more, what becomes less important?
You said very good.
Well, to me at this time in my life, I give a lot of time to thought and to the consequences of my thoughts. And I know that I will not be able to not have them. There will be effects, either right away or in my next lives. So it's very important. At this time of life, you sort of feel bad sometimes because the younger people sort of don't look at you the same or don't think of you the same, either as a mother, a teacher, just a neighbor. They look at you, you're older, you don't do things as you used to do, and you sort of have like a bad feeling sometimes towards them. So I'm very careful about that. I just send them good thoughts, and they don't know that I have a better life. Because I understand, I'm beginning to understand what reincarnation really is, what karma really is, and to live life to the full, the best I can. So to me, thoughts are very, very important. It's something that's here daily. It's not something that you can avoid. So I try to be careful, because I know it will affect my surroundings and myself and my future lives, totally. So thoughts are very important. Thank you.
That's a wonderful example. Maybe the mic can stay there for just a minute, because what becomes less important?
Less. The boat? The boat right now more or less?
The boat, that's the boat. Well, I don't know how you guys, you led me, look, now you're gonna sink me now. No. There's a boat, my dad, I think it was 1962. Oh.
Yes.
Well, I hear myself, I don't like that.
That's good.
So we can hear you as well.
That's, I forgot your name. Philip, yeah, I was telling Philip earlier when I just kind of barged in here. the reason I came here, because the Quivira Basin was basically, I guess, I don't want to say birthplace, but my dad bought an old wooden boat in 1962 or 3. Might have been 50 years ago, 51 years ago. And it was right over here, stone's throw away at the Marina. I think my oldest brother, I was only 11, 12. I didn't know he had bought it. I think it was my oldest brother. I think, you know, they got it, they bought it. So what's the point? What were you? Well, I'll just say maybe there isn't any point. That's one of the reasons I came over to the Quivira area, to get off the main road and just kind of take it easy. And then finally I remember, oh, that's right, that's where my dad bought that boat. And then it just kind of sunk into me, because it was kind of a lousy day driving home. Oh, I don't want to go home. I don't want to do this. So it was a breakaway. I said, just make that turn. I said, come on, there's such a huge effect on our lives, that sailboat. Basically, he used it as a fishing vessel, and a friend of mine, a friend and I, we used to sleep on it at night down by the beach. I shouldn't say, well, I'll never forget the day, but I don't know how we got a bottle of wine, but that didn't work out too good, and we were pretty young, so but that was, I guess it was fun. And there's a lot of memories that boat had. And actually, part of my, I guess the lead up is that I don't want to forget a jewel or something that's been kind of held back. And you shouldn't think, well, I don't want to think about that. That's all gone. You know, my father's been dead for 20 years. The boat, and I made in my dad's eulogy, this is supposed to be humorous, I think it was, the boat sunk before he died, because we neglected it. And it's just like, and I think I said, the boat may have sunk, but will always live on forever. How did I say that? The boat sunk before he died, but I didn't want to relate that my dad's gone and he'll live on forever. I somehow I tied in the boat will always be afloat or something. Yeah.
So what you're saying basically is that this boat is more than just a physical object, right?
Well, that comes down to what are the jewels? What is a sense of bring back this and that? I can't bring back the boat. I can't bring back my father. And it's those things that you think, well, those are gone. And I think what helped me is maybe when I drove over here and I looked at where that marina was, I could sense closer that chain of events that actually did occur in a positive way. I was right there. It was kind of staring me at the face, where if I go home, oh, yeah. You think you've lost everything. And that's the trick. I get tired of that, thinking, well, I've lost this and that. That's not true. And that's a negative. Basically, you're not giving credit to the things of your past that are actually positive. And if you start turning them into negative things, you're going to have a bad day. And that's probably what I was doing when I was driving home. So I don't want to go home. I'm sick of the house. The dogs are barking next to, whatever, one thing after another. So what the heck am I doing to myself? And it's not fair to me, or if I feel that way, I'll end up pushing that attitude to other people, and it's not a happy life.
Yeah, actually, before you came in, Henk was talking about that if something bad happens to you, but if you learn something from it, is it then still a bad thing? So having a bad day, in a sense, the boat took you here. Interesting.
Actually, it started out good. I think I went swimming in the ocean, and that kind of woke me up. And I got out late in the sun, which is all nice. And then I got up. Oh no, I don't want to go home. I said, wait a minute, what?
Good to see you here. Thank you very much. Let's go to this table, because there's still a table over there that thinks that this question was not important. Who wants to say something about that? And you need this mic, because this one gets up to here. What becomes more and what becomes less?
We merged the two questions.
Fantastic. So now I ask them to answer the second one, please.
Already did.
Really? So what becomes more important? I remember a story.
In the story, patience.
Patience. Okay. And what becomes less important in the story?
Less important?
Well, perhaps splitting it into important and less important is a bit of a problem, but the perspective, taking a more global perspective, not getting caught up in the specific time factors of any given day or circumstances, but stepping back and looking at the whole thing, so taking a more global perspective, or in the 3 jewels, maybe the holarchy of the hierarchy, the broadish perspective.
That's a nice thought to take into the break. And maybe Henk, do you want to say something to wrap this up?
I hope that the workshop is silently going on while we are eating, while we are going to the next lectures of scan and research, and in the afternoon. And yeah, I think thank you everyone.
Right, so we're going to start after the lunch with a new lecture, and what time is that going to be? That's at 2?
2 o'clock. I think we start with Ken about Swabhava, yes? Ken, start with Swabhava, the self-becoming. Richard's also in a, I think, very interesting title about God's monads and atoms. And after the 2 lectures, we have a lecture about the 6th and 7th jewel. So we still have 4 jewels to go.
All right. Let's have lunch.
Yeah. Good lunch.